to the short video promotion for my book, A Death Worth Living For by Julie Kelly. The book explores the highly controversial topic of death and dying, and it's guaranteed to take you, the reader, on a journey of deep self-discovery. The book was inspired by my time in India, where I had the opportunity to sit, observe, and really take in how the Indian people view life, and indeed the topic of death and dying. In India, death and dying is viewed as a simple part of everyday life. We're born, we live, and then we simply die and pass over to the next life. But whether you're a believer in the afterlife or not, whether you're a religious person or not, one thing is certain, and that is that the last moments or hours of your life you must want to be spent calmly and quietly and peacefully. Here in the West, death is often seen as something taboo, a subject that we can't talk about until a more convenient time. But you and I both know that that more convenient time very rarely ever comes. Every one of you watching this promotional video today will know someone who's died. It might be a family friend, a relative of a friend, or someone closer to home, someone in the immediate family. But just knowing this brings about the realization that death doesn't just affect a circle outside of us. It can affect our immediate family, and knowing this brings also about the realization that it's going to happen to us. Of course, it's true that we don't know when our own death will occur. It could be in the next 50 years. It could be in the next hour, the next month, the next minute, or indeed the next second. We simply don't know. But we know it's coming at some point or other. The book actually aims to help you, the reader, to take a journey deep within yourself and to confront and challenge some of those long-held fears that you might have had about death and dying. And in doing so, help you to change your perspective of the world and actually start living life to the full. Because it's only when you start to embrace death and dying as being part of everyday life that you can actually be free from its clutches. So here in the West, one thing that we're not very good at is living. We tend to spend most of the time that we have in this life running around in stress, chaos, either with work or home life, and many of us don't even take the time to breathe, and this results in some form of illness, either mental imbalance or physical problems or workplace burnout. And it's only when we hit these situations that we start to really think about our own mortality and our future. And what the book aims to do is to look at a whole range of different views and perspectives on death and dying. And in order to put the book together, I actually went out and interviewed a range of people, just members of the general public, and I asked the simple question: what are your thoughts and feelings about death? But not simply the topic of death. I'm looking at your feelings around your own death. And it was quite amazing how many people came back and said, well, what's the point in worrying about something that might never happen? Now, when we look at that statement, we can realise just how ridiculous that is. But in Western society, as I said before, we spend most of our time running around and ignoring the fact that death is going to happen. And so what tends to happen is at the end of our lives, in those last final moments, we spend our time in chaos, trying to put together the things that we didn't do when we had an active life. Now, the book is unique for two main reasons. The first being that it's actually not just a reading book, it does act as a workbook, a place where you have the space to jot down all your ideas and all your thoughts and views about what you've read, about people's perspectives. You may be one of the people that were interviewed for the book, and so you may actually be in the book, but it does give you the chance to really reflect and to look deep down within yourself. The second thing that makes the book quite unique is the foreword, which has been written by Geshe Lama Abhay Rinpoche, a highly revered Tibetan monk and third in line to His Holiness the Dalai Lama. And to have someone like this to write the foreword for my book was a great honour. So this really sums up the book. I really hope you enjoy, and I hope you get something from. It's available at the moment on Amazon in paperback and Kindle formats.